Go Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wild.
Adam.
Boys!
Adam is wildest.
Oh!
I'm so excited.
Oh!
So,
Today!
our pre-show discussion, Adam wants nothing more than to start with the John Tavares video from New York Islanders fans that I have not seen yet. It's all he wants to do in the world. But I was thinking trade deadline, and so was Jesse.
So we're going to go trade deadline first, and that's okay.
I think that's what we call a tease.
That's cool, man. That's cool. We'll get to the Islanders fans. And by the way, let me just say this before we get into the Islanders video, way down the road. Islander fans who follow me, who follow Steve, who follow Jesse, who follow this show, we know that this isn't all of you.
I choose to believe this represents all of you. You're pathetic. No, I completely understand
that it's not everyone.
But I also, all I know is, okay, everyone's hyping this up so much.
Well, don't let it ruin it for you.
Okay.
It's fun. It's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Oh, yeah, it's just fun.
It's good fun.
It's good fun.
It's just,
I can't wait.
You cannot look at Twitter, by the way, because it's
okay.
everywhere.
Every time I open the app, it gets pushed to the top.
Yes, that's because it is what it is. But let's start with the trade deadline. Let's start with what was important, and then there was a lot of crazy moves.
No.
First off, Steve, congratulations on the whole being on a Sportsnet broadcast nationally.
It was
for
fun.
The entire day.
And yeah, I really felt a part of the group when I got a text from CJ before the day had even begun, and he goes, "Where were you for the photo?" And I go, "What photo?" And I look on Twitter, and they took a picture like downstairs, like half a floor below me. I was broadcasting from floor 10.5. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah. That studio is huge, by the way.
Yes, it is enormous. And the ice surfing studio, which is not small, is very small in comparison. But the ice surfing studio sort of felt like the kids' table.
I bet, yeah.
Because it was me, Carolyn Cameron was up there almost all day, and Dave Azuma, who produces ice surfing, was the producer up there, and he's one of the younger producers. So I was like, kids' table, kids' table. It was so fun.
So I got
it was terrifying, though.
A little peek behind the curtain before we get into the trades and that sort of thing.
Can I tilt this?
Can you tilt what? Oh, the speaker? Yeah, you can do it.
I hate not being able to see my friend.
No, how about you just do this?
What? Yeah. Oh, now I can.
Now you can see me, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Sorry.
There we go. It's fine. No, I want to know what it's like to be on the other side of those broadcasts, because it is. I mean, God bless Jeff Merrick. The king of the transition. He's got such a depth of knowledge. He's so perfect in that role. And it is such a hard thing to do. Him, David, Amber, they're amazing. Carolyn's another incredible host. Bring it in. They're playmakers, right?
That.
Yeah, and they're able to transition. Oh, we got a trade. Oh, no, we don't. What are you looking at on your phone? Is there anything to break? And so, seeing it from 10.5. They're on 10. You're on 10.5. So it's a loft, and you're on the second floor. What do you see? What is it like?
Every person who has ever worked for Rogers ever was working yesterday. They did all of the Sportsnet radio stuff out of the Hockey Night in Canada studios, which they don't usually do. Everyone was there. And I'll double down on what I've said before. I'll never make fun of a live broadcaster ever again.
It's hard.
Just for making simple mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Simple mistakes are whatever. It's so easy to forget a name or to stumble. Or there was a hit. I only did 4 hits yesterday. And there was one where just my throat stopped working. There was no saliva there. And the words didn't come out. But it's organized chaos.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the day, the plan is to get us in once an hour for a hit. Well, Carolyn, who was in the studio, she was right next to me. She was definitely on once an hour. They tried to get me in once an hour. It didn't quite work, but she was on for Trade Tales.
Yep.
So they would bring up Doug McLean and Brian Burke and Colby Armstrong and Kevin Bieksa and people like that to, talk about their trade deadline experiences. So Doug McLean was first. Mm-hmm. So he was up with us at 8:00. It's 7:57. And I'm wearing a mic pack. I'm all ready to go. My heart is just beating out of my chest. And they're hooking up McLean because he's just coming from downstairs, and his mic doesn't work. And so they go, oh, hey, Dangle, can we borrow your mic? I go, what? Yeah, okay, fine. I just take mine off and I hand it to them, and I go, so like I'm not in this hit, and they go, no, you're still in this hit. And I'm just like, what? Okay, because McLean has to talk for longer, so I guess I'm lowest priority, so if they have to cut me, they can. So they're like hooking me up. It's like it's 7:59 now, and like the broadcast, 8 o'clock hits. They're still trying to get my mic to work, and they're talking to people over a headset, and I'm watching the broadcast that I'm about to be part of while they're doing all this. So I'm like, am I going to be able to... What? And then they just plunk a stick mic in front of me like 20 seconds before the air, and they're like, here, does this work? Does this work? Okay, this works. Here, Steve, use this. So I'm using the stick mic. I can't use that water bottle. And I'm just shaking like a leaf while I'm using it. And I don't even remember what I said. After every hit, Dave Azuma, the producer, was like, hey, that was good. And I'm like, what'd I say? Because I didn't remember. I didn't remember at all. It was terrifying.
So how many total hours were you there for?
9.
9 hours?
No, 10.
What time did you get in?
I got there just, like, pretty much just at 7.
You get there at 7, and then
And
the
I left
broadcast
at 5.
And then the broadcast starts at 8.
The broadcast starts at 8,
Yeah.
and
then it
it
ran
ends at
until
5, and then
Tim
you
and
got to
Sid.
take your makeup off,
Yeah.
which is,
of course,
still weird.
Yeah.
And
That's a long
it's a
day for
very
TV.
long day.
dude.
For
Well, and
TV, that's
why-
crazy.
That's why the TSN broadcast last night was hilarious, because they do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the Leafs game.
Yeah.
Like, they
Ooh.
almost, like, they probably went to the bathroom and then had to come back for the Leafs pregame show, which was why it was so funny when Freddie Anderson made that crazy save in the third period, where the TSN did something I've literally never seen before in thousands of games of watching hockey. They accidentally went to the studio mid-game.
Oh, what?
You didn't see this
Have you
clip?
not seen the Jeff
No, I
O'Neill
haven't
It's
seen
reaction?
this.
hilarious.
No, I haven't seen this.
So they basically, Freddie Anderson makes probably the save of the year.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of the
It
most
was really
incredible saves.
And somebody
they-
on the switcher.
Somebody on the switcher switched back to TSN, and Jeff O'Neill's jaw had dropped because it was such an incredible save.
Wow.
Yeah, they switched to the camera that was focused on Jeff O'Neill and Dave Poulin, but it's like behind the screen that they're watching,
Yeah.
and they're both just like, ah!
Yeah.
And this is mid-game?
Look up
Mid-game, the whistle hadn't even blown.
on Twitter. Look it
Whistle
up
had-
right now. You need to see it.
Honestly, if you type in Jeff O'Neill, it should be the first thing that comes up. It's like a meme now. So if you put something shocking online, they just go, ah!
Yeah.
Which, thank goodness, Jeff O'Neill face very quickly took over for cat shit guy.
Oh, that can go away.
That can
yeah, we
go
haven't talked
away.
about that since it happened.
Yep.
We haven't been on the show since that. A lot's happened.
A lot has
I did
happened.
see this face, but I didn't know the context.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, so that was on
So now you
screen
know.
for-
Even Nick Kiprios is the first tweet that pops up. Even Nick got into the action.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's hilarious. But like whoever, like Jeff O'Neill, I think was part of all the
Whoever
trade
was
deadline
working
coverage for them.
Oh yeah, he was there all day. Whoever was working the switcher had been there since
Oh, yeah.
whatever time in the morning.
Yeah.
Worked at least 12 hours.
Clearly,
It's one
yeah.
of the best mistakes that's ever happened in Canadian broadcasting.
Oh, it's so good.
If it was a mistake at all, which I'm not convinced it was. I feel like somebody accidentally on purpose did that, and they made the right call.
And they just got the perfect reaction.
Oh, it's great. That could have been
O'Neill
any
like,
other
"Oh!"
moment. Could have been any other moment in the game, and they went to that.
I love that he watches games like I do.
Yeah,
Ah!
absolutely, absolutely.
It's
So
so
back
good.
to cat shit guy.
Oh man, do we need to?
Should we?
I think we should explain to people who don't know what happened.
Okay.
So Saturday night, Habs go up 3-0 on the Leafs, right?
Yes. And I didn't get to see any of the bad parts of the game. It was great.
Oh, I watched the whole
only saw
damn
the
thing.
6 Leafs goals. Because my dad retired last week. He retired on Thursday. Yay!
Daddy Dangle?
Gary.
I thought it was Daddy Dangle.
Daddy Dangle.
Daddy Dangle. Ooh, let's go with Gary.
Nope. I like Daddy Dangle.
He's very protective of the last name. Because he's
The real one.
the real one. Yeah, he's like, so people know, like, your real
Aw.
name, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Don't
I
worry, I'm
understand.
carrying it on, Dad. It's fine.
I will carry it on for your father.
Was he disappointed that you didn't use it on the cover of the book?
I did use it.
Oh, okay.
It's Steve Dangle Glynn.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember.
But Dangle still comes
That's
before
good.
Glenn's.
Dangle, well, yeah, but it's in air quotes. No, it's not. It's in actual quotes. Imagine if it just had a pop-up.
Freaking lasers.
What the hell's wrong with me, man? I'm tired.
Dude, you're tired. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And what were we even talking about? Oh, yeah, so he retired.
Yeah.
He retired, and I didn't see any of the goals. All I saw was a brief moment of Twitter meltdown.
So
and I go, oh, this is going to be great.
The brief synopsis is this.
Because it would have been 4 straight losses.
Yeah, Toronto came out flat. It was going to be 4 straight losses. You could hear people going, Wayne Simmons.
Chanting.
Just angry tweets. Zach Cassian, give me someone. And I'm thinking, damn, the takes are going to be so piping hot tomorrow. Now, Toronto starts to turn it around. They come back. It's a phenomenal win. But in the middle of that, some guy's like, all right, the Leafs, you got to turn it around. And to do that, I'm going to eat some cat shit, and then they're going to turn it around.
No, I will eat cat shit if they come back and win.
That's what it was, right.
Is it no? Imagine he's just like Popeye spinach. He's just, I'm gonna have some magic cat shit, and they're gonna come back and win this game.
So here's what I don't understand: is why would you commit to doing something bad if they come back? But anyway,
and then follow through on it. He could have just deleted his account.
He could have gone away.
But he was like, "All right, I'm a man of my word."
So he ate it, and I hate it.
And believe me, I simply swelled up with pride when I clicked on his profile, and under location it said Oshawa. Cat shit guy is Oshawa proud, and well, since I had been drinking that evening due to my dad's retirement, I honestly considered getting him on the LFR. And I woke up the next morning and I'm like, maybe I should not get cat shit guy
on the LFR
on my YouTube channel.
He eventually deleted, shortly after eating the cat shit live on Twitter, he deleted the video of himself eating the cat shit.
Oh, yeah, but it's out there now. People ripped it.
Because he said his wife got mad at him because he ate
that guy's married.
Because he said he ate shit on the internet.
I hate, man.
There are times where I'm convinced my wife's like, should I have married you?
Listen, there are some of you out there right now who think there's no one out there for you. And I know sometimes it feels like that, and I'm here to tell you you're wrong. Because cat shit guy was married before he was cat shit guy, and now he's cat shit guy
and
still married. You'll be fine. I believe in you.
For how long?
For how long? Who knows?
My favorite tweet was Justin Fisher, who said, so we're the fans who eat cat shit now. And yes, Leafs fans are the cat shit.
Anything to win.
Anything. There were a couple photoshops of me barfing up a pepper next to him retching up the cat shit.
Oh, that's so funny. Hey, speaking of which, Leafs and Habs play again April 6th, and we will be at Real
there
Sports.
It is right there.
We will be at Real Sports with Crown Royal, or as Steve calls it, Crown Royale.
Crown Royale with cheese.
We are going to be there for the event with Crown Royal. Again, I promised you details. I've had messages from people who are like, I'm going to fly up from the States. And I just have not been able to connect with the Crown Royal reps. Yep.
Wow.
Ones that would actually surprise you. I have information. I don't know what I'm allowed to go to air with because I haven't been able to connect with the rep. So I promise next show I will give you everything you need to know. Okay?
Can I ask questions?
Promise. Yes.
About the event?
Okay, only limited questions because I can only say limited stuff.
Can I ask questions and then you cannot answer them?
Sure,
I assume
please
you don't
do.
Have the answers.
Go ahead.
Is it going to be like a private event?
Don't know.
Oh, okay. Will it require tickets?
Will there be Crown Royal?
Don't know. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Do we get all of Real Sports?
Yes.
Like
the whole damn place?
Pretty sure, yeah.
That's on a Saturday.
Yes.
Are you sure it's not just the VIP area,
I'm not sure
which
if you
is
guys
also
heard of the
Ballin?
sponsor. Crown Royal?
Crown Royal.
Yeah, they're pretty big, right?
Apparently. Wow.
Have you had their apple version, the apple blend?
Have I had their apple blend?
It is out.
Am I alive?
Outrageous. My brother-in-law got me into that this summer. He's like, you got to try this.
Were the 14-15 Leafs a thing?
Did a guy eat cat shit on Twitter?
Yeah, you cat shit on Twitter. Hey, so before we get into trade deadline talk, today is a very special day. And Jesse already knows this because I blew it for him this morning. But it is a very special anniversary today.
Anniversary?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
No, I don't know what it is. What is it?
Give him some hints. He might.
What do you think it is? What did you think it was?
I think I started my YouTube channel February 25th.
Interestingly enough, not about you. But if you did, that's amazing too. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, but I didn't do anything with it. That's just literally the day I signed up. So it's not
so
a big
no
deal.
one would have known.
Well, no, I get tweets. I get tweets from people,
Do you?
and I'm just like, cool, that date means nothing to me.
Right, because you didn't start till the fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
Because I saw it on Twitter. 4 years ago today. I can't believe it wasn't 40. The Leafs traded David Clarkson for Nathan Horton. That's unbelievable.
Wow. Nathan Horton, still Leaf. Nathan Horton, by the way.
One more year.
Still a Leaf.
One more year.
And often forgotten about. Like, generally speaking, the people who are super adamant that the Leafs can't do anything with their cap situation forget that Nathan Horton exists.
Yeah.
The Leafs cap is technically $5.5 million more than everyone else. If you're splitting hairs, but that's not really how it works.
No, and
it's just he
and with
doesn't
bonuses
count.
with Marner and Matthews, that sort of clouds things, right? Because they've got their rookie bonuses, and that's where it screws. Now,
Isn't it crazy
What's
they still have
interesting?
that?
What's interesting about that is next year, if they go and they use Horton's LTIR, that's an extra $5 million. And if they use it next year, they're going to have a lot of guys not on rookie contracts. I believe the only person will be like Travis Dermott. You know, you may Trevor Moore's
Moore.
moving. No, Trevor Moore's already signed his extension for next year.
Right.
Callie Rosen signed his extension. Kapanen and Janssen are RFAs. So a lot there won't be that rookie bonus thing.
Only
So they
one
may have an
ELC.
extra $5 million that we
GOAT.
hadn't accounted for. Huh?
No, Goat's not
No,
in his
Gauthier's
ELC.
still on his.
Is he?
He's
No, it's just cheap. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
his ELC.
Yeah.
It's just he signed for nothing.
really because
Yeah.
it's $675. I thought that's.
Oh,
so,
no.
No, he signed for league.
Oh,
Rookie-
wow.
So like Trevor Moore's taking a pay cut next year. He's making
Yeah.
$925 at this level this year, but that's because he hasn't played at this level the whole time. But next year he'll make $750 flat.
Wow.
So Trevor Moore, when he's a Leaf, will actually
Yeah.
be playing for less against the cap next year.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Had he played the full season in Toronto, he'd have made $200,000 this year than he will the next two.
That's so weird.
But he wasn't. So
right.
I was
eight
told.
games.
I was told on the broadcast yesterday that the Leafs must give up Nylander and Gardner because of their cap situation.
Well, Gardner probably will.
Because UFA.
he's UFA.
That's not really a question.
Yeah.
But they must.
Unless they can find that $5 million, because apparently he'll sign for that.
I'm convinced Dubas is going Chicago Blackhawks energy and just ignoring the salary cap.
Yeah. Who will help the Leafs?
People forget that Brandon Pridham's a guy, and like his whole thing is shenaniganery with the cap.
That wasn't
I'm
Lou.
interested.
That wasn't Lou.
No,
It was, Lou executed it, but where do you think he got the idea?
Lou helped take away the feelings. I think
Yeah.
Pridham was like, well, we could do this, but it's sort of unethical. And Lou just goes, do it.
You're telling me Lou wasn't sitting there with an abacus counting the cap?
That's what he might have been doing.
He has one, but it's called a lubicus because he only uses him.
I think
it's
we're done the show.
Okay.
We didn't even get to the Tavares video. It's
okay,
such
and
a shame.
it's just his head, and he counts his own head. Please make a graphic.
And
of this.
every time it's him going, well. I just remember he began every answer with well.
Please animate that,
Also,
somebody.
it's a really funny visual that I enjoy greatly.
So, going into yesterday, there was a lot of hope that the Leafs would pull off a right-handed D trade. And it's interesting because there seemed to be a lot of disappointment immediately after the trade deadline and the hours after the trade deadline. And then the game happened last night with Buffalo. The Leafs win.
Yay!
And nobody's talking about it today. And, so there's a couple rumors that we know what happened. Like, we know the Nick Patan trade, and we could talk about that. But I think the first thing we need to talk about is what almost went down with Edmonton. And we do know that the Oilers listen to this podcast now.
Yep.
Because they tried so hard to get Connor Brown. Now, the reports out of Edmonton today and yesterday, especially from Ryan Rashaw, guys that would know, said that the Oilers were trying to give the Leafs Matt Benning in exchange for Connor Brown. Now, when that first report came out, because the reports from Edmonton came out first, I thought that was really interesting because Matt Benning does not seem like enough for Connor Brown. I know Connor Brown's only got 5 goals, and maybe I've got rose-colored glasses because he's one of our own, but this is a former 20-goal scorer. Maybe Matt Benning was a former guy who was playing better too. The word on the street out of Toronto is that the Leafs were asking for Adam Larson.
For Connor Brown?
Now, it would have been Connor Brown plus.
Oh, my God. I would assume so.
But that was the ask. And they're like, hey, you want to clear some real space here? We can help you.
Okay. That's bold. Where did you hear that one?
That was out of Toronto today.
I had not heard that
I don't
one.
remember specifically it was an actual.
That's very interesting.
It was a report, it's a rumor.
Well, then you had CJ pretty much opening up the broadcast yesterday with the Leafs are working on something big. And I believe him. Like, he doesn't make stuff up.
They probably were.
And they probably were. A lot of stuff doesn't happen. Oh, my God. What was it? It was Jason Zucker was...
Calgary. Yeah,
that's
Zucker
right.
to
He was
Calgary.
supposedly on the move. I heard something about Eric Stahl. There's a bunch of trades that did not happen
Weird
yesterday.
that Eric Stahl just instantly signed an extension yesterday, too. Like, I think the Wild did a smart thing. If they were like, listen, if we can't trade you, you better sign an extension today. Otherwise, we're trading you.
Some people suggesting he might have come down with a case of didn't want to be traded-itis. And he signed an extension with Minnesota, and they were happy to oblige him.
Yeah, sure. He's played well there.
Yeah, not unreasonable cap hit at all.
So
It was Jimmy Murphy, by the way.
It was Jimmy Murphy. Okay, so the rumor. Yeah, I mean, so again, rumors.
His record is spotty.
Yes, rumors. So, so the Leafs are unable to make a move there. The Oilers aren't able to make a move. They didn't do much. And that was probably the right thing for the Oilers, too, when you think about it. Like, I tweeted yesterday, I was like, God, that sucks. Like, how did they not sell? And people were like, what were they going to sell?
They did nothing, and it was still better than what was rumored.
Other than Connor Brown and Matt
Benning. It was rumored
Benning.
they were going to buy, which was ridiculous. Why?
They're in contention, Steve.
Why? They should have traded Chase on, I think.
I don't think anybody won. I think everybody sort of is wise to the whole shooting percentage game now. Like, how can you not? If you're an NHL general manager and you look at Chaseon's career and season, how do you not look at him and go, well, he had a run of luck?
Easy. Be an NHL general manager, Adam. Thank you for asking the question. But, dude, look around the league. It is what it is. Like, there's a reason.
Like, I don't think that's a useful piece on any team going to the playoffs. Sorry. I just don't.
It would have also cost you nothing, though, because he makes...
Yeah.
He makes $650,000, which would be like
that's
what at this point $200,000 on your cap for the rest of the season,
less, I think.
if that.
Yeah.
And it's not a hit on him, but what team is going to be able to play him high enough in the lineup for him to be effective at his game? That's my key, right? If you get him to play the fourth line, then what are you getting him for?
Yeah, why are you trading an asset for that?
In 53 games, he has 17 goals, 11 assists, 28 points.
That's awfully Bolesky of him.
It's his second best year ever. Oh, wow, Adam. It's his second best year ever behind when he got 35 points with the Dallas Stars that one time. Yeah, okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, it was an interesting deadline because there was a lot. Now, moving on from the league, quickly, I guess, asset management. Par Lindholm gone. Nick Patan in. I doubt Nick Patan sees any ice time.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone who said like Lindholm's going to have a hard time getting in the Jets lineup.
Yeah, I think he's practice squad, and I think what they did smartly was they picked up a guy who's got team control, and I think Dubas said that. He's like, listen, we were gonna lose Lindholm because he's a free agent.
Yeah, it's a good trade for the Leafs.
And tell us why though. Tell us why beyond that.
Okay, so Nick Patan, so he's an RFA at the end of the year, so it's much easier to retain him. Former, I think it was second-round pick. He was really good at the World Juniors in 2015.
Not that long ago.
No, and that was
David Clarkson long ago.
That was, oh my God. Oh my God.
4 years ago.
Okay, so never mind. It was forever ago. Nick Patan is 38. No, and the other thing is he's an actual winger. Like, forget that he has this great offensive potential. Even if he only ends up playing on the fourth line and he's serviceable there, he's a winger.
Right.
Per Lindholm was never that. Like, I kind of had a feeling he was on his way out of the lineup. A lot of people had it in their head that, it's going to be like Connor Brown, Tyler Ennis, or Trevor Moore or whatever, and Per Lindholm in the middle because he was brought in to be fourth line center. Well, how many games did he play at fourth line center? 10? 15? Yeah. 15 max.
If
max.
that.
He was like, remember when he was Kadri's winger on the third line for
and people were like, why?
It was awful. It wasn't good.
No.
And the whole time he was playing a position I don't think he was ever entirely comfortable with. An effective penalty killer.
Yeah. He wasn't bad. He just wasn't great. So Leaf fans instantly, if he's not great, they're like, well, he's not Austin Matthews, so fuck him.
Yeah.
And it's not. That's not really how it works. Like he was. It's like I was watching Nikita Zaitsev last night. We'll talk about last night's game in a bit, but I watched him last night. I'm like, that guy's an NHL player.
Oh, Zaitsev.
Yeah, he's an NHL player.
Perhaps overpaid.
Yes, but he's an NHL
player.
player all the same. There's no question.
It's
He's got
interesting the
skills.
moment you realize, like, oh, this guy belongs.
He belongs.
All year I've been watching Freddie Gauthier, and every time he gets the puck, I just laugh because I'm like, I can't believe he's good.
But he is.
I can't
And man,
believe.
boy, was he good last night.
What happened? Trevor Moore is the goat whisperer.
Seriously.
I love it.
But we'll talk.
Play that goat whisperer music there, Jesse.
We're holding off on that. We're holding off on that.
Okay.
We'll talk about the game a little bit later. We got to get to the trades, and there were a lot. But it seems like it's a depth pickup, and it's a guy that you have for the playoffs just in case, because you will have injuries
In the future.
What was it like? Doug McLean said something crazy. You're gonna need 8 to 10 defensemen in the playoffs. I'm like, 8 to 10.
Okay.
Maybe if you're the Penguins from 3 years ago.
Or the Canucks from
Or the
2011,
yeah, right?
who used 19 or whatever it was.
But
think it was
chances
13.
are you're going to need 8. 10 might be pushing it. You're going to need some wingers. People are going to get banged up. That happens.
Yeah.
So
And
a guy like that's played in Winnipeg, knows how to play a fast game, great.
If you use 10 defensemen, odds are the other team's probably using, guys they wouldn't typically either.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're just battling, with like injured players and AHL depth. Just get some good players. Just acquire good players. That's it. Mm-hmm. Acquire good players. Do your best.
Yeah.
I think Nick Patan will be good. He was a nice little bet, and yeah, they were going to lose Lindholm anyway.
Exactly.
So it's a nothing trade, and we're devoting entirely too much time to it. But
we should just mention it.
I think it's a net positive, and for Jets fans, they were clearly never going to use this guy. Lindholm can kill penalties decently, and I never looked at him and went, that's a bad player.
Right.
He was one of the guys who got ripped off for one of those dumb offside goals.
Yeah.
He had, honestly, on a team that has Mitch Marner, Lindholm has one of the prettiest goals of the year. I can't remember who he assisted on. It was friggin' ridiculous. It was no look from his knees sliding into the boards. He just throws it behind him. It might have been Goat. I can't remember.
So
Depth players.
beyond that, moving on to some other teams. Can we talk about my boy Yarmo? My boy Yarmo, who's to me, A+, man.
Yarmo be there, except not at the draft.
Yeah.
Yarmo won't be there.
2 picks.
2
Third and
picks.
a 7th. That's all they have left.
2 picked. 2 picked.
We 2 picked.
Yarmo 2 picked.
Here's the best part about this. People are looking at this and going, this is insane. And especially what they gave up. If you look what they gave up to get Adam McQuaid, okay, fine.
The Rangers got a great return for him.
Huge. We'll get to that in a second. What I want to say is this. Jarmo Kekalainen deserves all the props. He's a guy who thinks differently, and guess what? He doesn't need to draft this year. He doesn't need it. No. Yes, will it hurt them? Sure. But who do they have? Duchesne, Dzingel, they've got Keith Kincaid, they got Adam McQuaid, who I'm not a huge fan of. They have a much better Talk about are they now one of the best power plays in the league? Duchesne, Panarin, and Dzingel?
You think so. Are they in a playoff spot right now?
They
they will be.
are
Well, this is the thing.
They will be.
in a playoff spot, the 3rd spot in the Metro.
Dude.
Third spot in the Metro, which is
They're 1
protected
point
by
out of falling out of the playoffs.
a flimsy layer of paper mache.
And chasing them, a team that's
Pittsburgh
kind of
Penguins.
all right, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, they arguably got worse yesterday.
Well,
Now, we'll talk about that. But
Yeah, we will.
Columbus, to me, gets an A+. And here's why.
Being bold.
Here's why. Yeah, A, be bold. B, when you look at their window to win, it is now.
It is today.
And if Artemi Panarin is going to leave you hanging, and you don't think Bobrovsky will be back because he and Tortorella don't get along, why wouldn't you go for it? What made me laugh is when they made the Duchesne and Dzingel trades, people were like, well, are they going to trade Panarin now? Why would they do that? No, you're going for it. You've stacked your roster. And guess what? In the offseason, you have $30 million to spend. You don't need to go shopping at the draft. Go shopping for free agents. You can sign 4 quality players. If you can get Matt Duchesne on get Matt Duchesne on $2 million less than Mark Stone, and you can get 4 Matt Duchesnes.
They need to sign 2 of those 4 guys, I think.
That's easy.
And then, I mean,
So
you could
re-sign the
easily
Ottawa
go out
guys.
and get other guys. Well, that might be what they do, but it's weird. There's like no incentive, or there's less incentive to sign Matt Duchene, because then you have to give up another first.
Right.
If you manage, it's interesting. If you're Columbus and you manage to lock up Panarin, I think you should let Duchene walk,
Really?
because then you can go out
Dude,
and
what
get
if you have 8
someone
more
else.
years of Duchesne in his prime? He'll be in his prime for 5 of it.
You can go out and get someone else and not give up a first.
Well, who's available, though?
That's a good question.
So
Adam.
we'll talk about that come
It's
free
very
agency time.
interesting.
I would wager that like 90% of first-round picks are not as good as Matt Duchene, so you keep it.
Probably.
Who cares?
Former
Give-
third overall pick.
Take our late-round pick. You go ahead. Good luck. We're taking our guy now, Matt Duchene,
This
who's
guy.
a 4th overall pick, you said?
Third.
3rd overall pick.
Third.
We're
We're
going to take him.
Stamkos, Hedman, Duchene.
We have a guy who's a guaranteed star, and you have a guy who might be.
Might be.
And that's
in 3 years,
So I'll take that.
if you're lucky.
Yeah, maybe if you're lucky and you develop well, which
Yeah.
in Ottawa, I mean, they developed well up until the last 3-4 years. And
Man, I hope. I know Ottawa doesn't have a ton of money. I hope they're spending it on scouting.
Oh man, me too.
I hope that you need to just nail
Although-
all those picks.
Although, if you're them, and if I'm them, I might just have the potato draft. Honestly,
The potato draft.
well, because you know the way that you know,
Oh, let Sham Sharon
Sham Sharon.
just have an algorithm pick all the
Why
all the
not?
guys. I mean, they'd
They-
be better off than some teams.
They're out drafting a lot of the GMs who are doing it. Why not?
That's unbelievable.
If
That
you're,
is still
if you're
one of my
really looking
favorite
to cut
things.
back, why wouldn't you use an algorithm?
So everyone, Dave Nonis versus a potato is funny, and it's a little. Nah, I was about to say it's revisionist history. It's not true. They wrote that article like the day it happened,
And it was mean too, but
and it was
fun,
mean.
very
So
funny.
it's funny. An article that is much longer, but power through it. It was
And Mike Gillis?
Mike Gillis was involved. It was the Canucks draft record
Versus a
put
potato.
up against Sham Sharon, which I guess is a play on Cam Sharon. It's just an algorithm that automatically drafted the next highest scoring, the next available CHL player by scoring. And
That's not an algorithm. You just look at a sheet.
it literally, yeah. It put that sheet up against the Canucks draft record over like 13 years. And the sheet demolishes it. Like the Canucks would have had like Claude Giroux. Like it was insane.
This is the point, right? Like it's everybody's like, oh, I got to get my guy to feed their own ego. Instead, why not just go after the guy that's next and really good?
It's a good thing Rasmus Sandin looks good, because we'd be roasting Dubas for it. He was getting
Absolutely.
roasted on day of. Oh my God,
Who
he's
is this
just
guy?
another hockey guy. He went out and got someone from his old junior team. It's a good thing he looks good, man.
Played 29 minutes on Saturday. 20,
Holy smokes, did he?
29. Even Dubas shouted him out in the thing. I remember reading this headline going, holy smokes.
I guess he's not injured anymore.
No, Sandy. Well, Liljegren was injured. Was Sandy injured?
No, they were both were, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I know. It has been a rough year for the Marlies. So sorry, we went to Ottawa, then the Leafs somehow.
No, we're
Columbus. I like what they're doing. Now, it's risky. It's incredibly
it's not
risky.
that risky, though.
Oh, it's pretty risky.
Oh, man.
The
how do they
pick
get
that
burned here?
concerns me. Okay, so many things would have to go wrong in order for them to miss the playoffs this year. So it's not a risk in that regard. That first round pick next year, if you sign Duchene but lose the others, you're leaving yourself so vulnerable, and you're putting Ottawa in the same position that Ottawa put Colorado in.
If you sign Duchene, though, you have 22. Like, you've got 30 million, right?
Yeah.
You got, say you get him for 8 or 9. You
It's a
got
lot of
21,
ifs and
$22 million.
But you're letting Duchene, who's going to be like last year, there was one clear bell of the ball, and that was John Tavares. This year's going to be interesting. Do you ask Matt Duchene, who like this is probably his last chance at an extraordinarily lucrative meal ticket? Do you ask him to wait? Like if you can't get Panarin locked up, Dangle locked up, Bobrovsky locked up, do you ask Duchene to wait? Because to me, he's sort of the guy you sign after you figure out what you're doing with at least Panarin. It's very risky. But they're a small market team. Don't always have the most money. Their options are not as plentiful as a team like the Leafs. they sort of got to go for it when it's their chance.
That's what I'm saying.
I sort of think of the Raptors. Like,
The Raptors are
they might suck next year.
I don't think they will.
They might.
They got good young players.
Well, okay, they'll fall out of contention, right?
Sure, they won't be the top 4 in the East.
Right. But look at them now. Look at them now. What about right now?
Yeah.
You know, we always think down the line, the future,
Sometimes right
which
now
is
matters.
important. Sometimes right now matters, man. And I look at the Metro and I look at the Blue Jackets. Is there a better team on paper than them right now?
No.
No.
Nope.
No, there isn't. Just straight up no. No Penguins, no Caps, no Islanders.
Lightning?
Not in the Metro.
Oh, you mean in the division?
In their division.
Just in the division.
Okay.
Well, and then, but dude, that's a chance to go 2 rounds deep, and then you're flipping a coin.
Yeah.
Oh,
At that
for sure.
point, like, who could tell, right? And ultimately, like, if the playoffs started today, they're in tough against Washington. But if you could try to catch the Islanders, and then you get a low-seeded team. I mean, they are 6 points behind. The math doesn't work out great for them, to be honest, and the Islanders have been playing
There's
great.
lots of games.
But boy, there are some, and a lot
There's
of
20
these games
left.
Well, yeah, and a lot of these games are against divisional rivals. That's how the NHL set it up. So it should be very interesting to watch them. And I think Jarmo Kekalainen deserves credit for going for it. He deserves credit for going, this is what we are, this is what we're doing. We will solve the rest of it down the road, but we got a special team now, and we can make it even more special. And he just picked up 2 guys. And you can argue that they overpaid till you're blue in the face. That's fine. Sometimes you have to. And I'm okay with that. As long as it's not... The reason in Toronto we're so adverse to it is because we overpaid for mediocre players for about 15 years. And it was painful to watch because you knew, like you were getting guys, like we gave up a first and Brad Boyce, future 40-goal scorer Brad Boyce, for Owen Nolan. Owen Nolan was a great hockey player, and he was okay with the Leafs. But Owen Nolan was on the backside of his career very clearly at that point.
But you know what, though?
It was worth it.
Don't go back and look at the 2004 Leafs.
They were stacked. It was crazy.
So heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have done so much better
Ron
than they
Francis,
did.
Brian Leach.
Oh,
Man, it's crazy.
It's
crazy team.
2 rounds. They lost in the second round. Are you joking?
But that's what it is. It's a coin flip.
Kekalainen, by the way, he was on one yesterday. Travis Yost, NHL Network, is saying Columbus inquired on Henrik Lundqvist.
Good for them.
Loonies. Like,
my
I
boy.
don't know what the play is there.
That's my boy.
I don't know what the play is there, man.
Well, because his window is this year probably, if you can get people re-signed next year. So
They already had nothing.
So you could have, you could get Lundqvist for the last 2 years of his career.
But they have nothing.
Well,
have no more
they need a
picks.
goalie for next year, so why not?
Blow your
with
first round.
King
Blow your first round pick.
Henrik.
Who cares?
I agree, but it's the old Apu thing. Like, and what would I pay them with? Banana bread? Like, they have nothing. The Blue Jackets, by the end of the day, all they had was banana bread.
If you trade, maybe you give them Bobrovsky for the rest of the season, and then you get that.
No, but what do the Rangers care? Okay, so are
So you
you
give them
maybe
Bobrovsky.
saying
The Rangers might be able to sign Bobrovsky.
Yeah, and there you go.
Bobrovsky and you sweeten the pot in exchange for Lundqvist?
I
Yeah.
think you'd have to.
And the Rangers either try to re-sign him, which I don't really know why they would, or they can flip him.
Yeah, you give them that asset,
Flip him to Florida.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
and then you take off. You're taking 3 years of Lundqvist contract
You know what's going to be great?
at 36.
This summer, when the 2 teams with the most cap space who are in a head-to-head battle are the Blue Jackets and Panthers.
That'll be fun.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, I think July 1st will be goofy. I think we'll have a goofy July 1st again.
Columbus can re-sign all these guys they just traded for.
And they might have space.
Yeah.
I think part of what protects all these teams with RFAs, you know, the Leafs have a few still, big ones, but Rantanen and other guys. What I think protects them is why would you go out and get them and spend all these picks on them when there's so many good UFAs available?
At 26 years old. Matt Duchene's 26.
Dzingel I think Dangle might still be an RFA. I can't
He's
remember.
a UFA.
No, he's a
He's
UFA.
a
in front of
UFA?
me, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Dangle,
he and Stone
Duchesne,
re-signed for a year, remember?
Panarin,
Yeah.
Bobrovsky.
Think
There's
anyway.
some big names available, man.
And, I mean, yesterday had to be a tough day for Ottawa. Really.
Well, oh my God.
Like, I really,
Dude,
especially Brian 5 or 6.
Dude.
Heartbreaking.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the calendar? The
No.
Ottawa Senators team calendar that's still in the shop? all 4 guys on the cover are no longer with the organization.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? You told yourself 18 months ago, going into the playoffs in 2016, Leafs and Caps, that all 4 of those guys would be gone. Well, actually, that Duchesne would even be a Sen.
Ottawa has...
And then, like, the tourists would be gone, and then they'd get Duchesne and get worse, and then that, along with Dangle, Stone, and Carlson, gone.
Can you bring up Ottawa's cap friendly, Jesse?
I have it.
I have a fun game.
Did you see the minimum that they got?
No.
Not that? Are you going to go there?
Okay, Adam.
Yeah.
I want you to name, if you can,
Oh, no. Don't ask.
who the Sens have on defense on their roster.
Well, they got Shabbat and Ceci.
They did not manage to trade Cody Ceci, you're right.
Borviecki.
Yes.
The team mascot.
Yeah, and
Spartacat. Mark Borviecki.
Spartak. He also looks like, what do they say, the mushroom from, because of his teeth? Mushrooms from Mario?
Oh!
Because of his teeth, right? Because they have the teeth and he's missing his front 2
He
teeth.
kind of does.
It was funny.
He also runs the team social media accounts.
Does he?
Yo.
Yeah, you remember the video after when they're like, we're going to...
Yo, I can't wait for his video with Eugene this summer.
Ottawa's
We're a
social-
team.
Ottawa's social media is the best part of the team. And Thomas Shabbat.
Yeah, good job, Mark.
Shabbat's awesome.
Yeah.
Shabbat is awesome.
So Ceci,
I've got-
Borviecki, and Shabbat.
Now I've got a passing grade here because I've given you 3 of 6.
No, they have 7 guys.
Come on, that's not fair.
Yeah, it's absolutely fair.
All right.
It's tough.
Everybody's gone. I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. I don't even know if I'd recognize.
Okay.
You'll recognize one more.
Okay, go for him.
Okay.
Go for him.
So I'm going to name 5 guys. And you got to tell me which one of them's made up.
Okay. All right. Oh, God.
Christian Wolanin. Dylan DeMello. Peter Sims. Christian Jaros. Ben Harper.
Okay, so DeMello and I know DeMello's a guy because he came over from San Jose, didn't he?
Yes.
That's the one I knew you'd get.
Then it was Harper, Sims. Who else did you say?
I said Wolanin.
Wolanin's not there anymore. Christian Wolanin's there was a Craig Wolanin who was with the Leafs years ago. Christian Wolanin's no longer playing, is he? Harper and Sims, I'm going to say, are guys. And I'm going to say Wolanin's not.
Christian Wolanin is their 3rd highest paid defenseman at the moment.
Sorry,
making $925,000. Dylan DeMello, you correctly guessed, is a real person. Christian Jaros and Ben Harper are both real people. Peter Sims was made up in my little brain.
I should have thought about that. Like, I should have actually used my brain and been like, what one's the easiest to make up?
That's
Peter
so
Sims.
funny.
That was really good. Dude, can I just also throw this out there? Tobias Lindberg, who's been traded from the Leafs to the Knights to the Senators and then back to the Knights.
Yeah, and he was a Penguin at one point.
Yeah, poor Tobias Lindberg. He's always the throw-in guy.
And Tobias Lindberg. Oh, okay, fine. But at least he's going back to Vegas this time.
Didn't the Leafs get him? They got
Okay, he was drafted by the Sens.
We got him for Phaneuf.
Sent to the Leafs for Phaneuf. Sent to the
Vegas
Golden Knights
for Pickard.
Sent to Pittsburgh in that ridiculous trade that was originally nixed by the league.
What one was that? Who?
Remember they had to retry the Brassard trade?
Yes.
Then he went from... Somehow he ended up back in Ottawa. Oh! I think he was... Ottawa and Pittsburgh made some sort of trade last year. Then he got traded back to Vegas.
Fuck.
I think I just did the Tobias Lindberg trade tree by memory.
That's crazy. Now, there's a lot of people that are quite upset with Pierre Dorion about the way it's gone. Now, you have every reason to be upset
It's tough.
with the Ottawa Senators. But I gotta just say, there's a lot of people on TV yesterday who'd never heard the name Brandstrom before. It's a little embarrassing how little everybody knew about Eric Brandstrom. You're talking about this player that Vegas selected is probably a top 5 player not playing in the NHL in the world right now.
He's stupid good.
Like him and Thomas Chabot together
forever.
Are going to be monsters.
That's something to be happy about if you're a Senators fan.
And that, by the way, is why you hold on to Sandin and Liljegren. Because if you happen to hold on to them, all of a sudden you have a top defense pair.
Yes.
Forever and ever.
And now Abramov, and I don't know too much about Abramov. I do know that
popular among analytics.
Great. Okay, so that's great. And then you got your first pick from Columbus, and then you got the conditional in 2020, and then you got their second pick in 2020 and 2021. You got Vegas' second pick in 2020. It's going to be a longer rebuild for Ottawa. It's going to be long.
Their draft picks on Cap Friendly look so good, except for the fact they don't have their own first.
It's disappointing.
Imagine they'd given that up, like I said. Listen to me.
It's disappointing that they didn't get a first round pick, another first round pick this trade deadline.
It is. However,
because the Columbus one is okay, but
I look at Eric Brandstrom as 2, and here's why. Here's how I know it's a crazy take, but I look at him as 2. He was a 4th overall pick. Mm-hmm. He's a guy they know is good, and he's just about ready.
Who's 4th overall?
Brandstrom was it?
No, 15th.
Was he?
He was
he one of the other?
He was their second pick. Yeah,
you're thinking of Cody Glass, who I think was 5th. Yeah,
right. Who they could not pull, and a lot of people know a lot more about Cody Glass than you do about Brandstrom.
Vegas will not let go of him.
No. Which fine, understand. But Brandstrom is a guy that is going to be, I think, a stalwart in Ottawa, and I think you got to look at him. He's a first round pick from 2 years ago, which I would tell you is more valuable than a first round pick this year.
He's already done some development. He's in the AHL. By the way, here's how slowly I'm operating. Did you say they have a bunch of draft picks? Imagine if they hadn't got rid of their first, and then I said the exact same thing.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Who cares?
Cool.
Doesn't matter.
Very slow operating.
You're tired, man. You got lots of stuff.
Listen. So, I don't think they did as bad as everyone's saying.
No.
But
what were they going to do?
Yeah.
What were they going to do?
I'll tell you what they were going to do. The price for Mark Stone, well, it's so hard to demand everything you want to demand from Mark Stone because it sounds like they didn't giddy up on this until under a week ago. But, okay. Brandstrom, a second, and random roster player, doesn't matter. Who is it? Oscar Lindberg?
Yes.
Different Lindberg?
The other Lindberg.
There's
a few Lindbergs out there. It's a popular name.
Vegas, they need one.
It's the Swedish Smith.
Now
right?
A little bit.
A lot of Lindbergs coming out of
Smithburg. I don't know. Yeah, and they have 2. God, I'm so tired. Anyway, it wouldn't have been that bad of a return because Brandstrom's so good, and you get a second round pick, which is nice. It wouldn't have been so bad. But the fact that Vegas was able to extend Stone.
Yeah, I get that.
That second has to be a first. It's just got to be.
I wonder. I mean, Ottawa obviously gave them the ability to speak to Mark Stone and his agent because you have to give permission.
That's got to cost something.
That should cost something.
Or you tell them like we just want more picks. You know, they don't necessarily have to be high. Like we need assets at this point. The fact that like even that ridiculous conditional pick in the Kevin Hayes trade, that we get a 4th if you win the Stanley Cup. Like, it just seems so silly and trivial, but throw that in there.
Why not? Andreas Johansson was a 7th round pick.
Throw it in there. Yeah. Throw something in there. Get a quantity of assets. So it's the biggest trade of the day, and it's viewed as a failure because you're supposed to... Okay, who got more? The Sens for Mark Stone at the trade deadline, and he was the best player available and got extended, or the Habs for Max Pacioretty, who got, I want to say it was Suzuki, a second, and Tatar, who has over 20 goals this year.
I would say the Habs.
I'd say the Habs.
Now
that's inexcusable.
Now here's where the Senators went wrong, and I'll meet you on this one because I don't think it's fair. I think everybody wants to dump on Pierre Dorian, and believe me, I've had my moments where I've done that. In this particular case, where they made a mistake was this: you tell the player, and we've talked about this before. January 31st is the cutoff date. If we don't have an answer from you, Duchesne, Dzingel, Stone, if we do not have an answer from you guys by that time, You will be traded. You're not playing in an Ottawa Senators uniform after January 31st without a new contract. Have you got it? Got it? Good. And that's when you start the buyer's market. What they didn't do, and what they continued, I understood, like listening to Mark Stone on the phone, I understand there's a human element, couldn't make up his mind, and then finally didn't sign. That is not how you run a franchise.
Make up your mind. Make up his mind for him.
Exactly. Your job is to protect your franchise. And I don't care. I don't understand what Mark Stone signing there would have done anyway. It would have been like, hey, we're still doing this. Like, no, you're not. You're still going to suck.
Yes, but
I just look at it and I go, Mark Stone doesn't fit Ottawa's timeline. Ottawa's not going to be good for 3 years at least, okay?
So what do you want to... How nice is Ottawa? There's lots of nice cities in North America, man. Go somewhere else and win.
Ottawa's great, but I feel from an Ottawa perspective, it didn't make sense for Mark Stone or Duchesne or Dangle to re-sign. So just make the decision. And here's where I think ownership plays a part. I think Pierre Dorion would have done that. I really genuinely believe.
I think you're 100%
that Eugene Melnyk was like, no, we got to go to let's extend the deadline. No, let's extend the deadline. And you heard the insiders say, oh, it's the 2 Wednesdays before the trade deadline. That's their deadline. Okay, it's this weekend. Okay, it's next Wednesday. Oh, all right, it's Friday. Like that is the problem.
You're 100% right. Adam.
So I feel like Pierre Dorion, given what he was given,
we'll never know how good this GM is.
Until he plays or until he's working with someone else.
We'll never know.
Yeah,
as an assistant forever, because he's never going to get a head GM job after this.
I think he did the best that he could with the pieces he was given, and I think you've got a meddling owner, and I don't think that's a hard conclusion to reach.
I hope, because I guess they're going to have a decent amount of cap space this summer. I hope they use it.
They have to.
Loud.
They got to weaponize.
But use it on who? That was because I know like Dangle and Stone don't really fit the timeline, like you said, Adam. But I was like, maybe you bring back one of them. I think it should have been Dangle. I think because you gotta play somebody. Like somebody has to play for the Senators.
So here's how you recoup some of the assets you might have lost on Stone.
Yeah,
you call a team like the Toronto Maple Leafs and you say, I hear you're in cap trouble. We'll take Nikita Zaitsev, but you got to throw in blank.
Right.
That's how you do it.
And then do that.
Well, they didn't do that yet. I think the time to do that's the draft.
Okay.
Right before free agency.
They might get even more picks.
I think so, and I think they will. And part of the reason they couldn't re-sign Mark Stone is they only offered him 5 years. It was in an higher rate, but come on.
You know what they got to be careful with, though? Oh, sorry. Finish.
The second thing is that Mark Stone, rightfully so, wants to get paid like Tavares, like Matthews, all at once. All in the signing bonuses.
In a place where there's not that much tax.
Yeah. Well, that too. But they couldn't do that. Ottawa could not do that because they don't have the money to do that. And that's part of the problem.
It sounds like they offered him, I think it was 10?
10.5 over 5 years. 10.5 each year.
Oh, okay.
So
we got 8.
Yeah, and he wanted 8. And I don't blame him. And he wanted it all structured so he'd get his bonus money. Because what
he
you
got,
do...
like Tyler Seguin's contract, pretty much.
Yeah, well, when you're talking about money like that, though, you got to think about it. Like, how much money do you really need to live, even as a professional athlete? Maybe a couple
Less
million
than
bucks?
That.
So let's say you take...
Yeah.
Let's say 20% of your money's gone in taxes and agent fees, okay? So you whatever.
Might be higher.
So it's still... Yeah, it could be that, but whatever. Even if you walk away with half of that money... If you're getting paid in lump sums like Tavares and like Matthews are, you take that, you give it to an investor, and in 10 years, your money's doubled.
Or you get into like a really confrontational conversation with someone at Quest Trade.
Yeah.
Or no,
I'm not here for your early retirement.
Kim? Or whatever it was. What, for your 10 minutes of expertise once a year?
Yeah.
Dick? I love those commercials.
You take your university degree and shove it, sir.
I'm always, every time I watch that, I'm like, that person's not very nice.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't want clients like that.
So what are you going to do for my children?
That's not their job.
No, what do you mean?
I can't
do you want me to babysit? I'm your fucking investment banker.
I can't support both of you, Janet.
The commercials are so dumb.
I know what they're going for, but it's a little overboard.
It's not their job.
Listen,
they're handling your money.
They're probably a great product. I'm not here to bash them.
Listen.
I just think the marketing's a little extreme.
Hey, do you think banks are kind of like taxing and cumbersome? Oh yeah, for sure. You ever want to just like get up in their face in their office for no reason? Whoa, wait, no. You know what? I'm gonna go give her a piece of my mind tomorrow. What is with the dude like twirling his mustache and smoking a cigar, going, "This will be my replacement. I'm going to retire on my bed of money that I made off of you and you alone."
And he's old. I'm like, he looks like he's supposed to retire. Why are you mad at the bald guy? He's retired.
Maybe he's been there for 35 years and he's earned this.
Yeah, he's pulled his damn out investing your money.
He's working for you.
And like,
he turned your $250 into 10 grand. Why are you mad? So what? He takes a 20% fee. What the hell would you have? God damn.
He applied Simply Save to your checking account and transferred 20 cents every paycheck.
Not giving him much to work with. And then here's
so anyway, this segment was sponsored by Scotiabank.
So we're gonna take all this money. Hey, guy who knows nothing about investing, let's put it in an app, which has not told you what they're gonna do with your money.
No, Adam. All you do is download the app to your phone, and automatically your money's tripled.
Oh my God! It just starts printing money out of your lightning cord.
Did someone say fees? That probably sounded awful.
I'm sure that there's a use to that product.
No, Adam. It prints money.
Maybe
it is a money printing app.
Pump the brakes.
That is what
guys.
it is.
Pump the brakes. These people went to school. At least give them some credit.
No, Adam.
Okay, Mr. Scientist Financial Guy.
You don't need to go to school to learn money. Money just comes out of machines.
I don't need your 10 minutes once a year.
Except for the rest of the year where he spends managing your money. All right. Okay.
No, planning new ways to swindle me.
That's it.
Swindle me timbers, I always say, you bunch of pirates. Wow. Glad I got all that off my chest.
Been penned up for a while.
Yeah.
You know
the
what
Sens got some picks.
You know what may make you feel better after a day like the Sens had, or a day at the office with the bank?
What could it possibly be?
A true Canadian Panago pizza.
What better thing to have in the capital city of the fine country of Canada?
What city?
Ottawa!
Where?
Canada!
That's right. Thank you.
Oh, Ottawa, Canada.
Ottawa, Canada.
So I'm sorry, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Put that in a blender.
A true Canadian. Stacked with organic Italian tomato sauce, extra pepperoni, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, mozzarella, and cheddar. Or you could be a true Canadian.
You could be a true
But you
Canadian.
could be an ultimate Canadian.
What's an ultimate Canadian? What is that, better?
I would say this is the Guy Lafleur of pizzas.
Whoa!
An ultimate Canadian.
It doesn't wear a helmet. I don't know.
Smokes between periods.
Scores offside.
Between periods, during the game.
Periods, that's right.
During shifts.
Smokes opposing defensemen, more like.
Is the whole reason Don Cherry has Hockey Night in Canada, to be honest with you. Well, the bench thing? Don't tell me the producer didn't look at it and go, man, that guy would be great on TV. Right?
Really is a grand old building. I just remember him saying repeatedly on Rock'em Sock'em.
Just saying. I think that moment was the seminal moment in Don's career. And I think that got him his spot on Hockey Night in Canada later on. His interviews were go back and look up old Don Cherry interviews. They're crazy. They're amazing.
There's something.
Now, the ultimate Canadian, like a Don Cherry.
Don Cherry.
Like a Guy Lafleur.
Cherry tomatoes.
True North, strong and bacony. That's how they describe it.
Oh.
Made with organic Italian tomato sauce, Canadian back bacon, which is the best, crumbled bacon, pepperoni, sautéed mushrooms, mozzarella, and cheddar. And guess what? You can get more mozzarella and cheddar if you want. You can double the cheese.
Please confirm that I just heard two different types of bacon.
Yeah, that's right. You got Canadian back bacon, and then you got the crumbled bacon. This kind of stuff that you put on a Caesar salad. Only it's on your pizza. It's a little more moist. It's not that dry packaged crumbly bacon.
Adam, if I went to the bank and asked them to double my cheese, would they be able to do it?
What about the cheese for my family?
No, they would twist their mustache and be like, yeah, but it'll cost you.
Panago, on the other hand, can double your cheese.
Right.
Do they have these commercials in the States?
It doesn't matter.
They
Like,
must.
is everyone else
I don't know.
confused?
Dude, I think
They
Quest Trade's is like all over the world, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean their
Yeah, they run the
commercials
same
are on during
commercials.
hockey games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Quest Trade commercial. It'll come up on YouTube. It's getting paid for your work.
How dare you be fairly
What kind of
compensated?
bullshit is that?
Now, let me pump the brakes a little bit and go. I'm not about to take the side of bankers. Screw them also.
Yeah.
Screw the
But-
actors and the Penguins.
Let's not make a commercial where we yell at people for doing their job.
Whatever, Jen.
Just saying, it's not the bank's job to babysit your children.
Oh yeah, take off the mask, Jan. Can't believe you're doing this. You're false flagging this podcast, Jan.
False flag.
That's what you're doing.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Am I Alex Jones?
Yes.
Whoa. Hey, Kevin Hayes to the Jets. Now, I know they acquired Matt Hendricks. Matt Hendricks moved again at the deadline. Nathan,
Back to the Jets.
I know. Nathan Beaulieu and a few other players. But let's talk about Kevin Hayes because that's really what matters. First round pick in 2019. That's this year. Brendan Lemieux. And a conditional fourth if they win the Cup, I believe, or if they go to the finals.
No, it's win the Cup.
And the conditional fourth isn't for 4 years. Well, it's not 4 years now. 2 years.
2022.
Which is 2 years.
It's not even on
3
cap
years.
friendly.
Wow, it's not even cap friendly.
Because they just show that, well, I'm sure it is in like a deeper part of the website, but on the convenience little team page, they only show 3 years down the line, and it's not even there.
Wow. So there you go. What do you think?
I might be thinking of the conditional pick. No, I'm thinking of the conditional pick for Keith Kincaid.
What do you think? No one cares about the
I
conditional
know.
pick.
My bad. I know. No, it's a super trade.
Old icebergs out again.
Hey! Whoa!
Just try to avoid me.
Hard to starboard there, Adam. Better steer out of the way. Kevin Hayes is pretty much exactly what the Jets need. They haven't been playing as good as they probably should be. Line A scoring a few goals has certainly helped that. You're welcome, by the way, Jets fans. That was all our doing. You know what really made the Jets monstrous last year was the addition of Paul Stastny. Just one guy down the middle, one extra body down the middle, and a good one, granted. I think Kevin Hayes can be exactly that. Now, I'm curious to see what version of Kevin Hayes he is. Because if you look at his career totals, he's typically a guy who has a lot more assists than goals. But, except for last year, he just decided, I'm goal guy. And I wasn't watching a ton of Kevin Hayes footage. I don't know how that happened. But if I had to venture a guess, it'd be because he's enormous, and he parked his butt in front of the net, and he banged it in. Now, is that not a perfect fit for the Jets?
I was just gonna say that could not be a better fit.
Be pretty good, man.
Also,
so they make themselves into even more of a contender with that trade.
Also, this whole thing about the Jets not playing well, they have 3 games in hand on the Predators, who are first in the Central.
Wow.
If they win one of those 3 games in hand, they will lead the Central.
Wow.
The standard's so high for them, though.
Winning the
they have,
division's
like-
pretty...
No,
I think that's
know.
the standard.
But they have, like, Tampa Bay level standards. Like, we see Tampa running away. Would we... It'd be weird if Tampa wasn't first, right?
Yes.
Like, even heading into the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like-
they were expected to be as good. Not maybe as good as they are, but
Not
like,
quite this good,
No.
but first.
you can't expect this good from anyone.
Yeah, first by a margin of...
Tampa Bay has
7 wins?
11 losses all season.
No.
11.
What did
Wait, just regulation or overtime and regulation?
Just regulation.
I bet they really
Wow.
sweat them, too, when they happen. It's like, oh, this is where the wheels fall off.
Crisis!
Like that small a number, you remember all of those losses.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's not a lot.
Steve would remember every goal and on what date.
Probably.
Well,
Yeah,
it's Steve.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I think it was a great pickup, and it was another great day for Kevin Cheveldayoff. He has timed this perfectly for years and years and years. We're like, when's he going to do something? He didn't make a trade for like 48 months.
Bang, 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 bang.
And he's made the right moves. It's amazing. And I think that, first off, the Jets looked a bit stale and have looked a bit stale. So it's good to get sometimes it's good to get some new blood in the room. Sometimes you just go through a lull and Patrick Laine's not scoring. Who will still, I think, hit clips 30 goals despite this streak of his.
Oh, like this week. He still might hit 40.
It's crazy.
He still might hit 40. Dude, if he repeats what he did for that ridiculous 12-game stretch that started in Europe, he'll hit 50.
So I think it was a great day for the Jets. I also think Calgary did something really smart.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You think?
What do the Flames need to do at this point for people to believe in them? Honestly.
A lot of people
Like, why is this
would
a mirage?
suggest, like, okay, the Jets went out and they got Hendricks, which I don't know, that's not really going to help him. Lindholm,
Beaulieu, who's just a...
Beaulieu, but like
He's
extra bodies.
insurance for Connor, isn't he?
Yeah, like
Connor's out for a bit.
bodies.
Yeah.
No, Beaulieu's on D.
Oh, who the
But
hell's
it,
out?
but it doesn't
Someone
matter.
that- yeah.
Just extra bodies. You
Oh,
need
yeah.
extra bodies. They didn't even really go out and get that.
Who the hell's out? Somebody's out. Sorry.
Buffalo?
No, someone's
Ehlers was out for a while, but he's back.
That's the other thing.
He's
Nick
been back
Ehlers.
for
You
a
didn't
while.
have him for a while.
A lot of...
It's like a month or so.
I feel like a lot of the Jets' struggles are pretty easily explained. They're a great hockey team. The Flames, I'm surprised they didn't even go out and get like complementary pieces. You know, but what's so wrong if you're already doing really well? What's so wrong with changing nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who also did nothing? Tampa.
Nothing needed.
And there were all these rumors. Oh, they're in on Wayne Simmons. What? What for? Why? You have Wayne Simmons. His name's Ryan Callahan.
Yeah.
Slightly different, but more or less the same. And he's been on your team for years. Like, the Lightning need nothing.
Just go. Go
Just
with the team.
go.
Yeah.
It's everyone else's job at the trade deadline to spend, to mortgage future assets
To get you.
to try to equal you or to bring themselves slightly closer to losing. All these teams are trying to lose in 5 instead of 4 to you, basically. They're unreal. So,
Say, hey, well, at least we took one from the Lightning.
you know what would be interesting is if, well, it was a repeat of the 2004 Stanley Cup Final. We had Calgary versus Tampa. But it would also be two teams who did nothing at the deadline in the Stanley Cup Final.
Well, the only reason I don't want that is it would encourage other general managers not to do anything at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I love that the Capitals, everyone's like, company! Like, we wouldn't have... Can you imagine we'd make a huge deal out of Michael Kempny? Well they
he's
won
a
the
useful
Stanley
guy.
Cup and company! Did I almost punch you in the face there?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Kempny. What were we talking about?
We're just chatting
can't believe I
about
have to
Kevin
go to
Hayes
ice
and the
surfing
Jets
after
and
this.
stuff. And, you know, and so here, my favorite tweet yesterday had to come from Dom Lucian because Pittsburgh went and traded Tanner Pearson for Eric Goodbranson.
Oh, my
And
God.
Goodbranson might play with Jack Johnson, who Dom Lucian says could be the worst defense pair in the league. Now, is that hyperbole or actually are they that bad? Like, are they, is it that in their role, say they're the second pairing, in their role, would they be the worst, or is it that they're actually like not? Because to me, if they're the worst pairing in the NHL, then they're probably not above replacement, right? Like those guys are replacement level at least, are they not?
Not really. Like,
Really?
Listen, I know analytics aren't everything. I know. But there are hundreds of games of sample size with these guys. They're not good at driving possession. And I think, oh man, someone tweeted me yesterday. Shout out to you. I forget who you were. I'm so sorry. I think
Nick.
they nailed it. Nick. No, it was a girl.
Oh,
Colette. Nick Colette.
Nicolette.
there we go.
So
Shout out Nicolette.
Nicolette. She nailed it. The Penguins got pushed around and manhandled at the outdoor game against Philly, and it hurt some feelings.
Well, they should have won that game. They
They should have won that
They're
game.
up 3-1 with like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, but also the Flyers were mean to them.
Oh yeah, that's why they lost.
So there was also
They
that.
were mean with 2 minutes to go and not just had more skill with 2 minutes left and scored two goals and then an OT winner.
Also, it's an outdoor game, and like it shouldn't count. So we're just standing like they're always weird. But they got pushed around, and they went out and got Goodbranson, who's one of the biggest, toughest meanies in the league. But there are hundreds of games of sample size that suggest the team he is on never has the puck when he's on the ice. And the
Stupid to say.
the team with Jack Johnson on it never has the puck when he is on the ice. Together, who knows? Maybe they create this perfect storm that is the best analytics team of all time.
Two wrongs do make a right.
Two
Jim
wrongs-
Rutherford.
Jim Rutherford is hoping that two wrongs make a right. Adam nailed it. I don't think they do. Hey, listen, I've met Eric and Branson. Seems like a very nice guy. They talk about the locker room and he's so good in the locker room. But like, you got a locker room guy to help the Penguins? Like, okay, you know who's going to turn everything around and get everyone's attention in a room full of Chris Letang, Evgeny Malkin, and Sidney Crosby?
And Phil Kessel.
Eric Goodbranson. Yeah, you know who's going to tell Phil Kessel, who's never listened to shit from anyone? Eric Goodbranson. He's going to show him what for. Hey, Phil, you know what I think you should do? Hey, you know what he's going to tell a room full of guys who have won 2 cups?
Together.
Some 3.
Some 3.
Yeah.
All together.
Guess what? I know a thing or 2. Everybody gather around. Like, I don't know if it's quite as bad as people are saying, because a lot of Penguins fans are like, oh, we didn't really like Tanner Pearson. Well, you didn't really have a chance to like Tanner Pearson. How long was he a Penguin? 20 games?
Yeah, about 3 seconds.
The money exchanged isn't that bad. Goodbranson makes more per season. Pearson makes it for longer. So I think Goodbranson is a Penguin next year and the year after. Pearson's for 3. Goodbranson's just not a great player, and he doesn't help the Penguins have the puck. And they're one of the most dangerous teams in the league when they have the puck. It ain't good. It ain't good. And, oh, man, it was utter meltdown on Penguins Twitter. Underrated. Everyone was talking about how the Sens lost the day because of the Mark Stone trade.
Penguins Twitter is great.
No, the Sens got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't as much as people thought. They got Brandstrom, which helps the future. Could be incredible. Can you imagine if he's like a league all-star for years to come, and we were talking about that trade like they lost it? Come on. And they get a second-round pick. They get future assets. They get exactly what they want. Do the Penguins get anything that they want here?
I don't know, and I don't know what they want.
They want immediate help. They want to win the Cup again. That was a blip last year. We're going to win 3 and 4. And it's just, I don't see it.
Having trouble making the playoffs. Quickly, on a couple other teams, the Sabres got a right-shot defenseman in Brandon Montour. And not bad. He's like 24 years old, pretty good.
I'm confused with him.
Yeah.
I saw people say he has great underlying numbers and bad underlying numbers.
I don't know what to think, but I thought it was a good move for them. They didn't give up too much to get him. And it's a 24-year-old right-shot D.
And the Ducks, they get a pick and Goalie, who could be good.
Yep.
And he's already a little bit down the line.
Predators get Granlund for Fiala, which a trade that we did not see coming.
No. And Nashville and Minnesota are like now favorite trading partners.
Yeah.
Because of Paul Fenton.
And I mean, I thought that was a pretty good trade. I mean, Nashville gets a guy that's maybe a little bit more established, although I know Fiala was loved in Nashville.
He just had trouble putting it all together all the time. They might have won the Cup that year they played the Penguins, had Fiala not. I think it was he broke his femur.
Yeah.
Which is a huge recovery.
Hard.
But Granlund's probably better and more refined now, and Fiala will be down the line. It's a decent little exchange. I like it.
And Wayne Simmons for Ryan Hartman, who is...
That was not a good trade. The Hartman one.
The Hartman to Nashville trade?
Yes.
Yeah, from Chicago.
You gave up a first for that guy, so does that count as Philly getting a first for Wayne Simmons? I don't know. I don't know.
No, the trade is actually Larson, Eberle, and... no, I'm sorry.
It's exactly what it's like. No, Nashville did well to get Simmons, who I think they're going to like more than Hartman.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So just because the previous trade sucked doesn't mean this one does.
Gus
right?
Nyquist goes to the San Jose Sharks. That's not bad.
Underrated.
Yeah,
He did not cost a lot, and the Sharks. So the Sharks were already one of the best offensive teams in the league last year. Then they went out and got Evander Kane, and then they were able to extend him, and now they add Goose Nyquist. Should be
Goose.
Who is, and they're second in the league in goal scoring behind Tampa. Now considerably behind Tampa, but so is everyone.
Who's not considerably behind Tampa?
I know. Now, get this, though. And I think this was another Travis Yost special. The Pacific Division, the top 3. In no particular order, because I forget the order. I think it's Calgary first. And then close together are Vegas and San Jose.
Looking at it right now. Hang on.
You have it. San Jose and Vegas is 82 points for San Jose. 69 points for Vegas.
Oh, wow.
That's not close at all.
Close. So, now wait, though. One of San Jose or Vegas. Okay, let's assume San Jose does not pass Calgary. Right now, it doesn't look like they will. They've played one more game and they're 3 points behind. So let's say San Jose does not pass Calgary. One of San Jose or Vegas is going to be out in the first round.
Yeah, because they're going to play each other.
Vegas got Mark Stone, and they might be out in the first round.
San Jose got Erik Karlsson.
I forgot about that. I was like, Nyquist.
No.
Dude, they added Erik Karlsson and Goose Nyquist, and they might not make it out of the first round.
Well, one of them won't.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine how much Calgary will be regretting not getting anyone if... Oh, my God.
Well, there'll be a lot of regret. There's a lot of regret if you're not making past the first round.
But what if San Jose passes them, and then it's Calgary, Vegas, and Calgary didn't cough up what it was going to cost for Mark Stone because they were one of the teams in on
Stone
them.
Scores the
and
winner.
then Mark Stone wins the Game 7 series winner.
Have you heard the theory that Calgary will win the Stanley Cup because of James Neal?
No.
Because he's made the Stanley Cup the last 2 years.
That's right,
Last
with different
year
teams.
with Vegas, the year before with Nashville.
That's right.
And then this year will be his third trip to the playoffs, which means he's going to go to the Stanley Cup final and win it.
And win it this time.
Yes, because that happened with
Marian Hossa.
Marian Hossa. So it's the Marian Hossa effect, except this time it'll be James Neal.
But this time he'll do it with 40 less teeth.
Yes.
I don't know if he's got any teeth left that are real.
He does not.
Wow,
that is a sticky little situation in the Pacific.
Dallas Stars, through no fault of their own, go out and get a great player and then lose him. In the first game, Matt Zuccarello
4 weeks.
takes a puck. Okay, so 4 weeks. That sucks. Hopefully Dallas can squeak in that time.
Yeah.
If they do...
They didn't get anyone else, did they?
No.
Oh,
No.
wow.
The New York Islanders didn't do anything. Lou is usually quiet on trade deadline day. They're in first. What do they need to do? What do they have to... Honestly, the fact that they're in first now, what do the Islanders even have to prove this year?
I thought the Habs were smart not to do anything because they're sort of playing with house money. This Islanders season, the whole thing is house money.
Yeah.
What on earth? Like, I keep comparing the Leafs and Habs to each other. The Leafs of 16-17 to the Habs because they weren't expected to be good. And it looks like they're going to squeak into a playoff spot.
Okay.
The Islanders are first! Yeah, no, they don't need to spend extra assets or anything. Unless it's for the future, they're able to go out and get someone who they're going to have for at least next season. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Other than that, just let it ride. Let it ride. You're obviously good. You're in first. It's very interesting, man.
I agree.
I always find it interesting, though, when teams don't just utilize their cap space.
Can you guys keep going? I just got to use the bathroom.
All right, you do that.
The Islanders have $9 million left over in cap space for the end of the season, and why not just take a flyer on somebody and then just let them walk as a UFA? If your team is so good, why not reward your guys for playing so good and above their heads and bring in somebody who's
interesting,
who's going to be a UFA?
Well, who would have been available? You are right, though. They should have utilized that, or at very least, like, okay, I know it's stupid, but something like what the Leafs did with Pittsburgh a few years ago, where didn't they take on Eric Fair and they got a pick for him?
Yeah.
And, like, it didn't matter that they got Eric Fair, but they got a pick. Oh, we got a 4th-round pick.
They added him for the run.
Yeah.
Got injured eventually.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
And maybe Lou's just like, I don't know, I can't be bothered with that trivial nonsense. I don't know. And also, I don't know, are the Islanders in a different situation? They're not like, the Leafs can't just, or the Islanders can't just spend $2 million on a 4th-round pick?
I guess. I don't know if they're hard on for cash in New York.
I don't know.
I can't imagine.
Hey, most teams only have one arena, and they have 2. So that's amazing.
If Adam was here, this would be a nice transition to the Islanders video.
Yes, it would be.
But
Instead, it sounds like he's taking an Islanders video. I can't wait to watch this. Also, Leafs play back-to-back games this week. Edmonton and Islanders. I think I've asked this question. Others have asked this question. Which goalie should they start in which games?
You start Freddie versus Edmonton.
You think?
So he gets the night off. You see, because Edmonton's terrible.
You see, even though they won both games in McDavid's suspension, didn't they?
So you see, that's because Draisaitl only tries when McDavid's not there because he's trying to prove the point that he's better than McDavid.
More like doesn't try Seidel.
Ah!
And then you feed Garrett Sparks to the frickin' Wolves?
Yeah, because who cares?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, you don't hold back Freddie. You play Freddie versus Edmonton, give him the night off, right?
I think you want Garrett Sparks to have some confidence going into the playoffs.
No, we don't need Garrett Sparks for the playoffs. He's not going to see the ice.
And now though, what if you start Freddie against Edmonton. The Leafs lose to Edmonton, so you're already stinging from that. The next night, you walk into the single most toxic atmosphere the Leafs have ever seen on the road for decades, and get creamed.
No, but you're not trying to overhype the Islanders game. You're not trying to be like, "Ooh, we're gonna reserve Freddie for the Islanders game because we know it's bigger." You don't look ahead on
That's
the calendar.
That's a great point. This is 100% for them.
Yeah,
this is
it's
Leafs.
100%
that's their thing. We're not holding back our goalie for you.
That's a great way.
No, we're doing our normal thing where we play Freddie on the first night and then we play Sparks on the second night. This is just another game.
Also, what if Sparks beats them?
Yeah, that's even better.
That'd be great.
Even better.
I also hope Nazem Kadri's available for the Islanders game.
That'd be fun.
He's not going to be available for Edmonton. We do know that.
Oilers are.
But the way the Leafs looked last night, they were fine without him.
Yeah.
I got to say, too, can I just quickly mention, I was at the game last night.
Nazem Cadcussion.
Couple things.
I said Cadcussion.
No.
How dare you?
Like concussion. I said Cadcussion.
No.
Nazem Cadcussion.
No.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt.
Oh my God.
That's dark, man.
Nope.
No, a couple things is that the Sabres are a good hockey team sometimes.
They need a save. If they got the goaltending, this is Sabres fans. I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say. If the Sabres had Robin Lehner playing the way Robin Lehner has played this season, they'd probably be in a playoff spot.
They were a good team for the first 2 months of the season.
Jack Eichel's stupid good.
Yeah, and he loves playing the Leafs.
Loves it.
Loves scoring against the Leafs. You saw that first goal with his he was jacked.
And then the second goal. What's better than Jack Eichel being excited to score against the Leafs and watching them lose anyway?
It was great.
Oh, it's so good.
But I think I looked at Carter Hutton's game. So the first 3 goals that go in. Now they were 3 goals in a minute and a half.
Choo.
But the first goal is a tip. The second goal is the Matthews wraparound thing, right?
Not just a tip after sustained pressure.
Right.
Like the Sabres were never able to get the puck back.
The second one is a giveaway by their defenseman to Austin Matthews with the goalie stretched.
Not recommended.
Not recommended. And the third one is Freddie Gauthier dropping a fucking Sidney Crosby backhand.
A wicked backhand. Also, Trevor Moore finding space.
Sure, but
to start the play.
You see the backhand that Gauthier shot. It was unbelievable. It was
really
perfect.
Good. Which I think might have been what Carter Hutton was screaming through swear words.
Why did Phil Housley pull him? Because everybody, I guarantee, even all the Leaf fans, Sabres fans that were there didn't get it. Majority are obviously Leaf fans, and they're like, why are they pulling him? What part of that is his fault?
Because Phil Housley played in the 80s, and that's what they used to do to goalies. Oh, you'll have 3. Get out.
It's crazy.
Or the early 90s,
And I know Linus Ullmark. I think, has Linus Ullmark had a better season? There was some...
I don't think either of them has been particularly good.
But, Linus Ullmark wasn't bad.
Ullmark is always in my Dang It's videos, so I feel like that's probably bad.
Okay, there you go. Ennis put one right over his shoulder, and it was beautiful. Breakaway, and then Kapanen, another short-handed breakaway. And those were times where you, as the Sabres, because they did get back into the game real quick, especially in the third period. That first goal in the third period was like, uh-oh. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. And
9 seconds in.
When Kapanen scores that goal, that's the dagger. That's it. You need a save at that point.
Or on any one of those. On literally any one of those. So we talked about 5 Sabres mistakes. I mean, did the Leafs not make mistakes last night? Freddie
100%.
has been playing out of his mind recently.
And
he's still allowing 3 goals a game.
Nobody's talking about it.
No. But he's playing out of his mind. The Leafs lose to the Habs without him, even though they were down 3-0. The Leafs lose to the Sabres, even though they were down 1-0, and he still allowed 3 goals. They get killed against St. Louis. Forget losing by 1 in overtime.
Yep.
Freddie's... It makes resting him even more important.
I agree.
He's so good.
I agree. Now, he lets the action.
He has series-stealing potential.
Which is
Should have been able to steal the Boston series.
So
he played his worst game in Game 7.
So does Vasilevsky, so does Tuukka Rask, so do all the great teams. They all have series-stealing goaltending talent. That is the point. Bobrovsky, you watch what the Columbus Blue Jackets do.
Stanley Cup stealing
Bobrovsky's got a big fat contract waiting for him. If they go deep, it's in Sergei Bobrovsky's best interest for them to go deep.
Everyone will forget every bad start he's ever had if he wins the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he signs for less than $8 million if they win a cup?
He's asking 12. That's what they're saying.
Shut up,
dude. He's making 7.75
he also has
7.75 or
2
something.
Vezina trophies,
dude.
12.
He's making 7.75 right now.
Oh my God, Carey Price screwed everything up.
Oh yeah. And the Panthers. No. It's not. It's nobody's game. Panthers will play it. We'll pay it. They will do it.
I am gonna go ahead and try to. Okay, so I have a little box in the back of my mind called emergency. And I am going to pick up what is Freddie going to sign for in 3 years and just put that in the box.
No, you can't think about
It's just the rubbish box that I put all of my deepest, darkest thoughts into.
3 years.
That's 3 years from now's problem.
Exactly.
Celebrate good time. Yeah, just shove it in the box.
Also,
Why is it rattling around? Never mind. Woo.
Got a couple hot goaltending prospects coming up. You never know what could happen.
Exactly. Celebrate.
Just saying.
Put it in the box.
Ian Scott. Justin, is it Hole?
Justin Wool. Joseph Wool.
Joseph Wool.
Justin Hall and Joseph Wool. Justin Hall and Joseph
Jeffrey
Wool.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Do you want to do the Islanders thing?
More than anything in the world,
Okay,
Ron.
now this game is a big deal for Islanders fans, and I get that. And also, let me just point this out by saying that this is not a reflection of the entire Islanders fan base. It's just the guys and girls who are super sore about Tavares doing what players do contractually and leaving. Now, the contention in the island is that, well, it would have been great if he told us he was going to leave before the season, so at least we could have traded him.
Your big dummy GM made a big dummy GM decision, and he was fired for being a big dummy. That's whose fault it is.
It's Garth Snow's fault. This is Garth Snow's fault. The other thing,
be mad at him.
I also want to throw this out there. John Tavares gave you how many years of ELC and then $5.5 million?
Yeah, he was locked up to arguably the best contract in the league.
For 5 years?
Yeah. Shut up. I understand why you're hurt, and also part of the reason why this season's been so magical for you guys and enjoyable is because it's a little weird that you're doing well. Isn't it a little weird?
And you still can't enjoy it.
When you guys signed Valtteri Filppula, were you like, yes?
And Komarov, did the money you signed him for?
Matt Martinberg.
Robin Leonard, the guy that couldn't make it in Buffalo?
This was concerning. It was a very concerning summer. And that's why it's a little weird. It's a little strange that you're doing well.
But good for you.
But good for you. Also, listen, if it didn't sting the Leafs, this would be all I'd be talking about. How magical and funny it is that the Islanders are first in their division.
Listen, I still am happy for Islander fans. How could you not be? I know what it's like to have a dysfunctional franchise.
It's hard to be happy for someone who's like, fuck you and your happiness.
Yeah, Edmonton.
Yeah, what is it with blue and orange teams and just unbridled rage? I don't get it.
Some with the colors, I think. So this is from News 12. A guy named Kevin Marr. He's the guy that tweeted this originally. Now, they have a video called Dear John. And News 12, apparently, according to Islanders fans that tweeted me after I said this, is like, they're like, do not lump us in with that outlet.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know anything about it. But Kevin Marr seems like a pretty normal guy. His tweet bio said he's verified. He's got 3,000 followers. He's an Emmy award-winning sportscaster. Syracuse University grad. Breakfast fan, father who enjoys playing all sorts of roles every day. He's got a picture of the Met mascot in his thing, so he's in Mets and Islanders fan. Mr. Met.
Please call him by his name.
Right. So this video.
He's an American hero.
I agree. All right, guys, we're going to sync up videos here.
All right.
And we're going to... Now, Steve, you have to yell out stop when you need us to stop.
Okay.
But you cannot be on your phone for
this.
No,
I'm sending a quick text. There it goes.
Okay. You ready?
Has to do with ice cream.
In 3,
okay.
2, 1, Dear John.
Dear John.
Dear John.
Dear John.
It's already a little strange.
Dear John Tavares.
And with the first overall pick, the New York Islanders select John Tavares.
Pause it.
No. Why are we pausing it?
Okay, fine.
Just get into it.
Let it go. Let it go.
June 26, 2009, you became a New York Islander.
You were the answer to all our prayers.
For 9 years, you were part of the New York Islanders, and many of those years, you were the captain.
You were seen as the face of the franchise, the savior. You were the chosen one.
We looked up to you. Kids looked up to you.
You were not just only the Islanders captain, you were the fans captain too.
We thought you were a class act, but looks like it was just all an act.
Do you remember saying that you loved Long Island.
I've always stated how much I love it here.
Do you remember saying how great players stay with their team their whole careers and how you wanted to do the same?
This is obviously where I hope to be, and I've always stated that.
Do you remember saying how you wanted to lift a Stanley Cup here in Nassau with the Islanders?
All right, now we can stop, right?
Okay.
So that's the moment. That's most.
Jen, sorry, we're gonna pause here. There's wind. It's all up in your face. We're gonna pause and retake that. Sorry, like that would be a nice common courtesy thing to do. That'd be an Emmy award-winning thing to do. Hey, no, there's winds all over your face. Oh my god. Okay.
So where do we start?
So this is gonna this gets worse.
I
right?
believe that might be. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Let me just line this up again. So Jesse, what second are you at there? Just so Steve can see it.
114.
Okay, I'm at 114. Now, there's a bit of a cut in from the news people, and then it goes back into the rest of the piece. So how are you feeling so far?
Really uncomfortable.
That's why I didn't want to stop you, because I wanted you to feel the uncomfortable first before. Like, I didn't want to let you stop it because I needed you to feel that.
Okay, so people so far have mostly been talking with like smiles on their faces, sort of, at least while they're saying this. This girl looks so hurt. She sounds hurt. She sounds on the verge of tears. I'm so uncomfortable.
Okay.
You can't tell me this gets worse.
3, 2,
oh, no.
1.
Captain John Tavares is now a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Very fortunate to be here.
Exiled is clever.
On July 1st, you chose to go home to Toronto.
You turned us all down.
Oh, no! Diana! Oh, God, Diana! Oh, God. You! Turned us all down! You! With your unreasonable bank fees! You! With your pajamas, piece of shit! You fucked us, John! You royally screwed us!
All right, so let's pull it back to
128.
128. You want to pull it? No, let's pull it back a little bit. 120. Let's go back to 122.
All right.
Only because I want Steve to be able to see that again. Okay.
All right, 122.
Ready?
3.
Back in 1982, my son was conceived in the parking lot, and you erased all those wonderful memories, John.
3, 2, 1.
On July 1st, you chose to go home to Toronto.
You turned us all down. You hurt us all.
You really just seem to care about yourself, not all those young Islander fans whose hearts you've broken.
You went from being the captain, the savior,
Oh, no!
the chosen one, to a lying
Traitor.
snake.
Oh.
Pajama boy.
I'll never
Oh,
forgive you for those 9 years.
Pause.
Pause.
I'll never forget. Can you imagine? Can you do?
They called him a snake!
Imagine doing. Oh, they've been calling him a snake all year.
No, but on a news channel!
Well, it's
Also, pajama.
pajama.
The pajama
By the way,
debate
it's
rages
sheets.
on.
It's sheets.
He's not wearing pajamas in the
Well, we
the
don't
photo.
know. It's the Leafs. Well, we don't know that.
Well, he's not wearing Island Leafs pajamas in the photo. He might be wearing pajamas. I don't know.
They're Leaf sheets.
But they're bed sheets.
Was that dramatic pause from the beard guy, or was he about to cry? He was about to cry.
Pajama boy snake. What is this?
Also, okay, we need to revisit Pajama Boy because apparently they're still planting our flag with Pajama Boy.
Right.
Let's say he was wearing pajamas.
Sure.
He was a child. Children wear pajamas of their favorite sports team.
No.
Who are you insulting exactly? Because it sounds like a little boy. You deeply hurt adult people. What's the matter with you?
Let's criticize a 27-year-old man for wearing pajamas
when he was
a child. Let's do that,
Like
everyone.
he's got a Naboo starfighter from Star Wars in the background. He was quite young. It was a while ago.
When he was that young, by the way, the Leafs were ass. John Tavares has been a hardcore Leafs fan for a long time.
Except for when he was with the Islanders.
Unless they made it to the conference final that year. They were bad for like 3 years, and then they got Curtis Joseph, and everything was okay. Imagine that! They made a big free agent acquisition, and it turned everything around. I wonder where he got the idea from.
Well, and here's the thing, and I tweeted this, and New Yorkers got on me a little bit, but I don't care. I think I'm right, and I know I'm right on this one. New Yorkers are not used to free agents leaving. They're used to free agents coming.
But these guys, forgive my ignorance, people from New York. I associate Rangers fans
with the Yankees.
With Yankees fans.
And Mets and Islanders.
Mets and Islanders, yes. Because New York is so freaking enormous that it's like divided in parts.
Someone suggested it's like it's being the ugly stepchildren in New York of sports, right?
Okay, so
like it's like Giants, Yankees, New York Giants, Yankees, Rangers, and then it's Jets, Mets, Islanders, which just what a terrible 3 teams to have.
Yeah, how are Giants and Jets fans divided?
I think that's how most Giants or Jets fans, I believe, are Mets fans as well.
Okay. Well, that's confusing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
You got to understand why that's confusing to everyone who lives in not a city that's the size of most countries.
Yeah, of our country. Well, here's the thing, though. Like, honestly, first off, if you're a Mets fan, you've signed some pretty big free agents. So don't come at me with this, oh, we don't know what it's like.
You're welcome for Noah Syndergaard, by the way.
Yeah, really. Well, I look at this and I think, okay.
I know baseball.
This is a player that said, I want to stick it out with the Islanders because I think we can make the playoffs. And the best Garth Snow could do last trade deadline was Nathan Beaulieu. And that was it. They didn't get anybody else. And he was like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And they have no arena. They've split time between 2 arenas this year. And they have, and that's not the fans' fault. Their dysfunction is, it's not, the fans are not responsible for the Charles Wang, Garth Snow years, but you're blaming the wrong guy. This is a contractually he has no contractual obligations anymore.
It's exactly like with the Oilers. Like, oh, shut up, Leafs fan. No, dude, wait. No, I'm saying what your team's management has done is bad. Do you think this is good? Are you enjoying this right now?
I mean, they're enjoying it right now.
And the Islanders, now they are.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you have to admit all the things Adam just listed are a little funny.
And
they're a little peculiar.
I got messages.
And they're a little less than ideal.
I got messages from people who are like, yeah, well, Toronto doesn't know what it's like. I'm like, oh, yes,
really?
we do. When we traded, we lost Delgado to the Mets. We lost Mondesi to the Yankees. We lost Vince Carter to New Jersey.
List every great athlete we've ever had.
And we lost them.
Every one of them.
Had to trade Roy Halladay. Had to lose Vince Carter for nothing.
Carter.
Sundin.
All of them.
Doug Gilmour.
All of them. Gilmour, who they stole from Calgary. No, they didn't. It was a trade. Gary Roberts walked. Curtis Joseph walked. Remember that?
He left to go to Detroit.
And he won. He was right. He was absolutely right.
Did he win? I don't think he did.
He was like a backup.
Oh, Hasek,
maybe not.
Right? I don't know if he won.
Hasek there was that weird year they had Joseph Hasek and somehow still allowed goals.
That was pre-cap. That was pre-cap.
Oh,
That's why they could do that.
Right, which was extra confusing. It's like, why? There's no cap. Just get him. Name the greatest athletes in Toronto post 67. Because, all that shenanigans before that. They've all left. All left in all the sports. All of them.
Damon Stoudemire, Vince Carter,
gone.
Chris Bosh.
Gone.
Wanted out. Wanted to get the hell out of here.
And Bosh won. He was right.
Stoudemire
when he left, we're like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I actually on Twitter today compared the Raptors at that point when Bosh left a lot to the Islanders recently. Up until this season, which was dysfunctional, no direction, completely rudderless. And the Raptors have got their shit together, and so have the Islanders this year.
And when Bosh started winning championships, the Raptors actually sort of started to turn it around and got good as well.
Absolutely. That's what I mean.
Every great athlete in this city for the past 50 years in every sport has left. Don't tell us we don't know what you're talking about.
I think we should focus on Diana.
Yes.
No.
You left us.
Jesse, let's restart at 146, shall we?
Sorry, we had a legitimate conversation in the middle of a silly video.
That's okay. Let's go back to it. Ready? 146?
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Pajama boy. I'll never forgive you for those 9 years that you systematically destroyed when you signed that Toronto Maple Leafs contract.
I'm kind of happy that this happened when it did, so my son didn't grow up.
Oh my God!
Stop it in 2 minutes. Stop in 2 minutes. So my son didn't grow up a fan of you. I'm so happy it happened when it did. Like, I'm embarrassed for Islanders fans who know this is embarrassing.
One time, Patrice O'Neill was on the radio, and he was talking about seeing Fight Club for the first time. And he described it as sitting in the theater, and it dawned on him that he think he'd stumbled upon the holy grail of something white. Is this not it? Oh my God. Systematically what? My son, here's my baby. I'm going to somehow bring my baby into this.
Let's start from 150 again, just so we can hear that one more time, Jesse, because the baby.
I want to die
actually, 140,
at this
150,
moment.
150.
Are you making me watch the rest of this?
Yeah.
No, please.
This is a 3-minute video.
No.
We're only a minute 50 in.
No, don't.
Okay, ready? 150 in 3, 2,
no,
1.
Please stop.
That you systematically destroyed
Oh, there's that word again.
when you signed that Toronto Maple Leafs contract.
I'm kind of happy that this happened when it did, so my son didn't grow up having that heartbreak, having you leave. He's too young to understand that.
If you had stayed,
He's
you
too
would
young
have
to
been
hear. Pause,
under
pause,
the
pause.
Best coach, Barry Trotz. You
And
would have
what
gone-
pajamas does he wear? Huh?
If you had stayed, you get to hang with the best coach, Barry Trotz, who, won a cup last year.
No, Adam, you're burying the lead. See this little kid? This little innocent kid?
Oh.
What pajamas does he wear?
It's a good question.
Holy shit, this is deranged. I'm so uncomfortable. Oh my God.
Jesse, let's start again at 2.
I'll eat a pepper again. Just don't make me watch this.
Yeah, what's that?
2 minutes. Ready?
Oh my God.
Let's listen to her talk about Barry Trotz.
No.
Having you leave.
Please stop.
You count me in.
Oh, sorry. I'll count you in. Hang on.
No, here, how about we just
All
cut
right,
it
in
off here?
3, 2,
just cut it off
1,
here.
play.
Having that heartbreak, having you leave. He's too young to understand that.
If you had stayed, you would have been under the best coach, Barry Trotz. You would have gone
Someone tell
from
Diana
being
with
a
the
good
hair.
player to a great player.
Your legacy as an Islander, it's tarnished forever.
He's
The team is
crying.
doing a lot better without you. I guess it's like addition by subtraction.
You can count your money in Toronto while we sit in first place.
Guess what?
He's crying.
We're fine. The Islanders are going to win a cup without you, with the kid who won the Calder.
Got some great pieces, and obviously lean with the kid who won the Calder Trophy this year.
He has a name. His name is Matt Barzal.
Goodbye, John.
Thanks for leaving.
Say good riddance. Say bye.
And February 28th, we will chant as loud as possible, "We don't need you," because we don't.
Well, they're not hurt. They're definitely not hurt. Wow.
Dear John.
Have you seen
I'm just going to use washer.
Go ahead.
when Hulk Hogan revealed that he was in the NWO? And all the fans of that event, all the WCW faithful, just littered the ring with garbage and chairs? There is a 0% chance of there not being a delay in this game
There's gonna be
because
a
of
fight.
something being thrown
There's
on
gonna
the
be a
ice.
fight.
The stands are going to be awful. Leafs fans should not go to this game.
No, you should.
No.
You should.
No. Man, there's some games you skip. You might want to skip this one. There's going to be fights in the stands, and there's going to be at least one stoppage due to a Tavares jersey getting thrown on the ice. Mark my words.
Oh, 100%.
Mark my words.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be worse if the Leafs win or lose. I don't know. Oh, it's going to be awful. That was the most cringe-inducing thing. That video would have been so much better. Like, were they going for a bit? Were they trying to make it funny?
No, that was serious.
That was serious.
Yes.
Like, that thing, you could have been like, and my son. Think of what you're doing to the children. And it's hilarious because the kid's literally drinking out of a sippy cup and has no idea what's going on. It's funny.
That kid is going to be so embarrassed that his dad was in that video. Think of how embarrassing that will be when that kid grows up.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I would be so ashamed. I'd be like,
and
Dad,
we never
no.
needed him. And on that day, the heroes of Shelbyville rose up. Now let's all celebrate with a warm glass of Valtteri Filppula juice. We don't need you. Oh, my God. You know what? I hope the Islanders demolish the Leafs in that game. I do.
Why?
Because they'll be fat and happy for the rest of the season. Done. Mission accomplished. February 28th, and we're already done. Look at how ahead of schedule we are that we have the cup in our hands. Our cup. Not the Stanley Cup. We'll worry about that later, but we have ours.
Cup, the Tavares Cup.
Boy Cup.
For years to come, the Isles could win the cup this year. For years to come, Isles fans will be able to tell you more vividly where they were the night that they beat the Leafs in John Tavares' return than when they won the Stanley Cup.
What happens if they lose?
The Islanders?
What do Islanders fans say then?
The Leafs literally need, like, a police escort out of the building.
I hope Tavares walks in there.
I'm not kidding.
I hope he walks in there and just lights him up.
What if he gets a hat trick?
He looked awful good against Buffalo.
OT goal or something.
They'll have to postpone the game. They'll have to. While you were in the bathroom, I was saying there's no chance. There's no delay in this game because of stuff being thrown on the ice. There's absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
It might happen. It might. You know what? It might start in warm up. No, but then you get kicked out of the game and you don't get to see it at all.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so douchey.
Thursday's gonna be fun.
And let me just say again, does not represent all or even, I would even say half of the Isles fan base. But if you have tweeted that John Tavares is a snake, you are a part of this. Oh. This is how pro sports works.
Yes.
This is how it
dicked us along.
No, he didn't.
Shove it.
No, he didn't.
Shove it.
You know what? You want to hear Dick
DeLong?
I'm
so disinterested.
You want to hear Dick
Your
DeLong?
GM.
Mark Stone in Ottawa. Dick DeLong. Had Mark
I still
Stone,
think that might have been the owner.
If Mark Stone... No. If Mark Stone... If Mark Stone really cared about the fans, and this is an obnoxious point of view, but let me just throw this one at you. Mark Stone
this is the obnoxious point of view.
Mark Stone really cared about the fans. Matt Duchene really cared about the fans, but Mark Stone's the guy they developed. Mark Stone would have been like, you know what? I can't commit. I don't know. So why don't you go ahead and trade me, and maybe we can revisit this in the offseason. If Mark Stone truly cared about the Ottawa Senators, who, by the way, are not in first place, they're in last place.
Adam, do you ever just feel...
what an obnoxious thing to say. Mark Stone was making a personal decision, by the way. I'm not castigating Mark Stone.
He was right to leave.
He was right to leave, and he was right to make the decision on his time. But if you are going to take that same logic and apply it to Ottawa Senators fans, which they're not doing, that's what you would say.
Did Avalanche fans do this to Duchene?
I don't know.
And don't be like, well, yeah, he was booed. It's going to be a lot different than that.
Any team has done this to anybody recently.
No,
dude,
this is so far.
This is so
I want to go
funny
have a
that's coming
shower.
out of New York, though.
I want to go have a shower right now.
It's so perfect that it's coming out of New York.
I feel like
it's perfect.
You ever feel like the room is vibrating with the awkwardness in it?
It hurt you that much, huh?
I look at like I can't sit upright. I want to be down here.
Was the
I want to hide behind the mic. I'm scared.
Of all of the things in the video, what was the thing that sticks out to you the most as the cringiest?
The fact it was 3.5 minutes
No.
of that.
In the video. Don't sit on the fence on this one. Pick one moment.
Okay, so there was the girl with the lips painted in half who was hurt the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay,
I felt
that's
like she
her
was the
character.
producer, by the way.
Yeah, maybe.
She felt like she was the one behind
But her character was genuine hurt.
Yes.
John. And then Diana, who someone... go somewhere with less wind, poor Diana. Couldn't even see her face. And her thing was indignant. She was very indignant, and that was her thing throughout. Beard guy started unhurt. And then... Listen to me, okay? We don't need you. Did that guy win an Emmy too? Oh my God, I want to leave. I want to leave right now. I don't want to do an outro for the show or anything. I want to just go home and shower. No ice surfing tonight, no nothing. I'm done. That was awful. Could take the 2 points. For fuck's sake, you need it. You need it. Take it. No, we're in first place. No. You need this for your soul. Jesus Lord, take it. I'm telling you, you're taking hockey a bit too seriously. Do you know how much that should give you pause? Holy shit, pump the brakes. That's scary.
Yep.
I can't wait for Thursday.
Thursday is going to be great. And with that, we must leave you because Steve has to go do a little show called Ice Surfing. Steve has to go to a job 2 days in a row.
Wow.
Shit.
And I got to shoot some YouTube videos tomorrow.
Oh,
so
what?
I know.
You're going to work a full week.
I know, it's nuts.
And he's got,
it's an injustice.
And he's got 2 hockey games after this
Friday?
I don't remember.
Depends on when you shoot the LFR.
I'm going to the game Saturday.
Are you?
Yeah,
I think so.
That has nothing to do with work.
No.
Are you gonna shoot the? If you shoot the LFR Friday morning, that means you worked a full week.
Wow.
Yeah,
and I made the LFR last night.
Yeah. So there you go. First times for everything.
You know what, Jesse? At first you were joking, and I thought it was fine. But then you took it to a place, and we're done. If you keep raising bank fees...
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.